Yeah, so tonight we're going to be so it's going to be unlocking the gems of Verdana. This is what our title is for the presentation tonight, and what we're doing here is basically we want to fast track our clients from coming into Southwest Florida and hit the ground running. Because our clients are all out of state, all out of country, we want to make sure that you utilize your time when you're in Southwest Florida. We want to make sure that when you're down for 5 days, that you only what would normally take 5 days to look at communities, you can do it all in 2 days. Why? Because we're going to educate you prior to coming down. So when you do come and buy a home through us, you're already going to understand the neighborhood, you're going to understand pricing, you're going to understand what's in the area, and that's the whole goal of these webinars. And what we're going to do is we're going to highlight one webinar. The goal is to do one per week. I think in the beginning, we'll probably 1 to 3 weeks until we get this, streamlined, but ultimately that is the goal. So a little bit about us or myself. My name's stevezalunardo. I am a foreign national, Canadian born, but we migrated to Florida last October. We are down on a 5-year investment visa with the family. We are committed to Florida for the remainder. Our whole goal is green cards and citizenship. So we ain't leaving Florida anytime soon. Been a realtor for 14 years. We run a successful practice in Toronto currently right now. We have a team managing that on the day-to-day. And my goal is to build out our Southwest Florida branch so we can have like a north to south connection. The good thing is we know there's a lot of gimmicks going on with realtors doing like cross-border and north to south type sales, but ultimately what they're doing is just referring business to an agent that's out here in South Florida. The good thing is when you do call me, you're dealing with me on boots on the ground. We're physically here. We're invested heavily into Southwest Florida. If you watched any of my videos in the past, you notice the amount of investment we've put into Southwest Florida. We're down on 4 LLCs. We're going to basically overlap what we did in Canada into the US. We're coming down as a real estate company, so buy, sell, trade, invest. We came down as also a property management company. And the property management company is just suitable. It's just for our clients, to be honest. Whoever's buying homes through us, we're not going to open up to the public. Whoever's buying homes through us, we're basically going to have a one-stop shop system where you buy a house through us and we do the property management for you guys too. So it's not like we're going to refer you out to another trade. We want to make sure that you have a great experience here. You're having top service through the whole process, because the last thing we want to have is unhappy clients that go back to the northern states or out of country, and they had like a really bad experience because it was like a dine and dash type realtor situation where they sold you something to make a fast commission and there's no service followed up, and then you're into like some investment property that or a property itself that's not located in the right area. It's depreciating heavy, it's in a floodplain area, and then you've lost a ton of value, and then you had a bad experience and you're bringing that back home. So what we're going to do here is have everything under one roof. We're also building a development construction company. So we're going to be building houses just north of Estero here, about 30 to 45 minutes. And also we have a 4th LLC that we're doing straight on investments. So basically what we're going to do is multiply doors. So we're buying residential, and then also like land banking. So we have Mary Hodges on board too. This is my executive assistant here in Southwest Florida. She's actually just behind me now. So she's going to be on board. She's going to be sending out polls to you guys. If you can fill out the polls, it'd be great. Why I ask this? Because the more information we have about you guys, what you want, what you're looking for, is the better we can serve you going forward. So if you can answer them, it'd be great. She's going to be sending them out periodically, which is great. So even like what the webinar is going to cover tonight, because we were out of state, and I'll kind of give you like just a quick story about this. When we are out of country, rather, we're used to 50-mile-per-hour winds, not heavy storms. So obviously, as an investor, we came down to make sure that number one, our senses as well. Like we're going to look at the in-depth review as an investor. Also, we want to make sure our investments secure. And the reason for this is that we want to basically invest money, but also have the property still here when we get back. And we picked Southwest Florida as a family, number one, for the community. Number two, that it gets least hit from storms than the Atlantic, which is the East Coast. So this is what we picked, Southwest Florida. And, it's a funny thing because we bought, and then ultimately we had Ian, which was a 100-year storm. But being European and paranoid, we always made sure we looked at the Fema maps. We made sure that we were in a flood hazard zone. And any of the properties that we purchased for clients is basically in a safe area. So when we got when we went through Ian and our investment properties were here on, obviously already built already, we got back to Southwest Florida to take a look at it. And I'll tell you, the storm was so aggressive. We had 140-mile-per-hour winds for 8 hours. And when I got into Southwest Florida, we didn't even lose one shingle on our North Fort Myers investment property because I actually physically climbed the roof. And then we had our juvenile palms that were tipped a bit, which I just straightened up. So that was great, and that's what's important. We got to make sure our investments are safe. Secondary properties, depending on what you want, and also relocation with families. So tonight we're going to look at the FEMA maps. Make sure we're going to show you where Verdana is located in the flood hazard areas. Also, we're going to look at the consensus. Like I mentioned, we're going to do a topical view of Verdana. We're going to look at all what it has to offer, all the amenity centers, why we were so, we love Estero. I got to be honest, it just feels right for us. And we actually put a little video together. I'm going to show you guys actually after this here. So here, let's go. So I'm going to just play a little video right now and kind of show you guys what we're all about. All right, I don't see my screen, hon. Sorry, guys, I'm an elder millennial. Something just disappeared on me here.
Click. You can see your view.
I just got to share the screen here. I don't know why it stopped doing that. There it is. Okay, sorry, guys. Yeah, an elder millennial moment. Let's share a screen here. We're going to show you all about Estero. We kind of put a little video together just to kind of give you an idea.
A lot of people ask us, why do we love Estero so much? And clearly we're moving our family into Estero. We operate a business out of Estero. What we love about Estero, for example, is its quaintness. It's made up of 37,000 people, very small population. It's between, let's say, Fort Myers and Naples, and it shares a little bit of both communities, but it has its own identity, which we love. We love that it's a new community. It's only been incorporated into Lee County since 2014. So what that tells me as a real estate investor is that there's going to be a lot of development in the area. And we're noticing that with a lot of the gated communities being built off the Corkscrew, which we're moving to. We have beautiful golf courses nearby. We have the Miramar Outlets, which is a great outdoor shopping center. If you're into shows and you want to watch live events like concerts, we have the Hertz Arena, which is down the street. Also, we have a local professional hockey team, the Everglades, that is their home stadium. Also, the Coconut Point, our shopping center there, which has got all the big box stores and outlets, and also great restaurants to go off to. We're close to the airport. We're close to all the beaches. From the Coconut Point, for example, we can get down to Vanderbilt Beach, which is north Naples, in 20 minutes, which is my favorite beach. We can get down to Bonita Beach in just around the same time or less. You can get down to Fort Myers Beach if you want more of a beachy feel. Clearly, we know that Fort Myers Beach is having some difficulties right now, but that area is going to be up and running within a couple years. Also, if you want to get downtown, Naples, like Naples Pier, that's only a 40-minute drive. It's not too aggressive down the 41. If you want to get to Loudermilk, which is my wife's favorite beach, that's about 30 minutes from the Coconut Point. So we're in a great location if you want to get to a beach. Yeah, we love the community. I think it's great. A lot of young families moving in. Yeah, have a look.
So there you have it. That's just a little video we put together with Estero, and those are actually real live shots. We did everything ourselves, and that's actually my family as we're walking into our new home. My little guy did his putt because he's playing golf out here, and then obviously the last photo of us at the Cracker Barrel, our favorite Sunday spot there for Southern breakfast food. So that's pretty much it. What we have for Estero, you can see it's jam packed with everything you need. It's such a great community. Let's share another screen here. I'm going to show you more on a high level of as me as an investor, how we kind of look at areas and how we choose to invest, because clearly we're moving here as a family, but we want to make sure our investment is safe. Like, our house is always going to be an investment. We want to make sure that, like, a good investment is an investment that can cash out quick. And that's the whole point. Make sure it's in a good location or the best location. You got the best product available. There's no detriments attached to it. So this is what we're looking for. You might pay a little bit more, but ultimately, when you got to sell it, or when values and appreciation are up, you're always going to make capitalize on that. So just to kind of give you an idea, this is important here. We're looking at basically medium household income per capita per household. So remember, this is taken from 2017 to 2021. Remember, this is obviously 2020 was COVID, a lot of migration between 21 and then 22, heavier migration. Florida was the #1 migrating state of all of America. It had the #2 business applications in all of America besides New York. So there was a lot of investment brought into Florida during this period. So these numbers will definitely be a little bit different when they do their next consensus. But have a look here. So the Estero Village of Florida, the household capita income is $94,000 per household. If you look at it, it's 48% higher than Broward County, which is the East Coast or Fort Lauderdale area. And then it's about 65% higher than Miami-Dade. And then also Florida as a state, it is exactly 54% higher than the state of Florida. So this gives us an idea. This tells us one of two things. Number one, appreciation is going to be well. Why? Because the income per capita is higher than most of the states. So there's a high income here, and people are going to spend money to buy houses. They'll always pay more for houses. Number two, usually this equates to a lower crime rate. We're going to have this attached to the link in the presentation when we send it out to you guys. You guys can kind of go through this. You can nerd out like I do on here. So you can see like the population is 37,000 people. You got your race. You see it's predominantly Caucasian, 91.6%. Also the age group here, if you kind of see here, it shows an elder demographic right now of 50%. But just remember what I was saying around this, when they do the new consensus, that this will be a much younger market going forward. And I'll tell you like a true story with that is that trying to get our kids into school has been, it was honestly, it was probably one of the biggest victories that we had, is to get our kids into a school, because we have a 12-year-old and an 8-year-old, and to get them into those grades in any school in Lee County, even Collier by that matter, it was literally, it was very stressful just to get them in. Why? Because of the areas busting by the seams with new families moving in. So new schools are getting built to accommodate the new influx of young blood. So these numbers will change eventually. Another thing to look at too, you guys can look at all this stuff, but also the persons in poverty percentage here. If you kind of look at it, we're 6.4%. We're half of the state's average. Again, that equates to clearly the income per capita, just to kind of go through there. Let's keep it going. We're going to move on to the FEMA maps now. So this is another thing that we looked at when we bought our investment properties. Even when clients are buying resale properties, I don't do anything until I look at these FEMA maps. I make sure that there's nothing that are in a flood area. And I'll give you one example. I had not even a client. It was a Canadian that bought a property out in Sarasota, and she called me just for some guidance just recently. And we don't mind helping people, even though they weren't past clients. And ultimately, they purchased a house just north of us in Bradenton, and their insurance is like $6,000 a year or something of that nature. And I was dumbfounded. I know we had a big storm. I'm thinking that it could possibly be closer to the water. So I'm saying, how close are you on the water? It seems like you're on stilts right into the beach. And no, she says we're inland rather, similar to where we are here in Verdana. But I'm like, doesn't make sense to me. But when I got onto the FEMA maps where she purchased, I seen you'll see like hazard areas where you have like sort of like lines on a 45-degree angle. That tells you that that's basically a runoff water with the area. So what happens is all the water will run off there and then swell. So she was in a swell area, and that's why her insurance was so high. So we look at all this. We make sure that, like, again, call me paranoid, but I want to make sure our investments are safe. And then, to be honest, if we're selling a product, I want to make sure I can sign my name on it and be comfortable and confident that I sold you a great product, that you're not going to be in any shape or form in bad situation in the future. I mean, my name's on it, and we rather do the job right the first time. We're not commission driven, we're service driven. So we make sure that your product is something I would sign off on at all times. So with that said, this is Verdana Village. this area here. We're we're not in a flood hazard zone, which is great, and that'll reflect on the property insurance going forward. And again, we'll have all these links for you guys going forward, so you can kind of go through them and kind of do a little bit more research going forward. Talking about the corkscrew and why we love it. Again, we did that video. There's a lot of stuff happening here. And so this is the development activity map for Lee County. Very important. Again, we're looking at this as an investor. I'm not just a realtor. I got to be honest. I look at myself more of a businessman. So every decision we make sure it's solid. So my saying is we're playing chess, not checkers. So we're making very thought out moves one at a time rather than trying to get through a game within 2 or 3 minutes, right? So with that said, this is Verdana Village here. Just remember, this is Camerata Developments, and across the street is the place at the Corkscrew, which is another Camerata Developments, hence the color of the zoning here. But look at this area right here. This is very, very cool, and I'll tell you why. So this is a new submission for the development zoning here, or like a building permit, and it's called the Sporting Preserve, okay, or the Preserve Sporting Facility. And what this is here, you kind of see a video. It's a very upscale, like exactly what the title is, Preserving Sporting Club and Residence. So what it is just a very upscale place. You kind of see what it has to offer, like fine dining. You got lodging on site. You got a spa. And also, just if you look at the experiences here, archery, equestrian, high tower hunts, rock climbing, upland hunting, zip lining, sports, hiking, fishing, ATVs. Again, it's a 12-station compact clays. Like I love shooting clays. It's fantastic. Even upland hunting, if it's something that's not too committed in the forest, it would be great for me. Tennis, golf, really great facility. Actually, my client from New York that purchased from us in Verdana Village actually put me up to this. I'm glad she did. I was very excited to know that this is just touching basically phase 2 of Verdana Village. So we can just take the corkscrew, jump into this great place, enjoy our little place of heaven here. Also, what that brings is wealth into the area. Clearly, it's not. This looks like a very expensive place. Let's just call a spade, right? This is a very expensive place. So it's going to bring in the right type of people, more than likely buying into our communities, keeping the values up. So that's what's important. One more thing here in the development maps. If you look at this section here, this is another Camerata Developments, 6,600 acres. In Florida, they do everything big. They say that about Texas, but Florida's just right up there. So 6,600 acres, 10,000 homes are going to be built through this shaded area here. We're going south of the corkscrew, north of the corkscrew, all the way to the 82. So ultimately, this is going to be a ginormous site, and probably going to bring in some more roads for us to kind of utilize later. So let's keep it going. We'll talk a little bit about Verdana Village now. So if you see here, it's 2,400 houses. There's going to be 2 phases, West Village and East Village, 1,200 homes per site. Really, really beautiful place. And the good thing is, if you look at Verdana Village compared to other sites, we have, and again, this is a feature that I like because I like, privacy, and also like to have an area that looks a certain way. When you drive down the streets of Verdana Village, the houses are really pushed back than the lots. So we have like a 40-foot plus driveway. So it kind of pushes the houses back, kind of gives it like a nice feel as you're driving through. Remember, this all equates to future appreciation. Also, the amenity center. This is, and we're going to go through this in the presentation, but it is second to none. It's the first indoor sports complex in Southwest Florida. A lot of other communities are starting to mimic this complex right now, where you have indoor and outdoor sporting activities. But this is the largest of its kind. I'll tell you, like we'll go through some of these pictures here. Also, just a side note, grand opening in 2 days from now on Saturday, actually my birthday, July 15th. So it's fitting that it's on my birthday. It's a good little gift to kind of see this thing come to fruition. Here's an overhead view of the community maps here. Or the site plan rather. So again, this is the West Village, 1,200 houses, and this is going to be the East Village, going to be 1,200 houses also. So this is the corkscrew. As you drive in, you have our main gate here, so our guardhouse, our amenity center to the west side of our street when we drive in, and also we have what I love is a commercial parcel here, which is basically going to be Camerata Developments is also building this. So what's cool about this, and it's not going to be like a hodgepodge of some, this land was sold off to some other builder and they're going to put their own twist on it. It's basically it's going to resemble Verdana Village. So they're going to basically take the characteristics of our sports complex and our facility and then lay it onto our commercial parcel. Why I like this? Because I'm an OCD. So when you drive in, everything looks like it's supposed to be there. And there's nothing that, again, this is all for appreciation of value. If it feels good, it's going to sell good in the future. So as you're driving down now, this our main road coming in, we have this rotonda here, and this will split the phases for the east and the west village. All these gray home sites here, all the color ones are Pulte homes. And another cool feature is because there's 2,400 houses being built in each phase, people are feeling it's too big of a community for one amenity center. When we get to every phase or every village will have its own amenity center, and we'll tie into that a little later. But so that's good. So you're going to have, this is the main group, and if you want some privacy, you can head off to the little villages here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share a screen again. I'm going to get back to the keynote and then go through the presentation here. Mary, do you see the right screen? Sorry, guys. Yeah, okay, cool. Let's keep it going then. So we just gone through all this. So this is going to be our main gate. This is a live photo. This is there already now. If you kind of look at the theme of this, it's very coastal, very contemporary, very pretty, very chic. I love it. This is obviously just a rendering of the overall property here. Looks the same, obviously, that this is more of a mature growth right now in the plan, but clearly all these trees are in there. I almost physically counted them all. If you guys followed me on YouTube here, you understand what we've been doing. Again, this is just kind of get a rendering of the shops at Verdana. That's obviously going to be on the east side of our entrance gate there. So the public won't have access to our amenity center nor our community, but they are going to drive down that road, make that left into the Publix, and there's also going to be another road into off the corkscrew into the Publix here. So this is going to bring in, if you see all the additional buildings, is going to have everything's going to be here basically for us on the corkscrew here. It's our convenience. We can take a golf cart here, do all our shopping, get a haircut, buy some alcohol, do whatever you have to do, get ready to enjoy the weekend. So it's quite cool. Or even during the week when everything's busy, don't got to drive down to the corkscrew and the 75. It's all going to be here for us, which is great. So this is the overhead shot. Again, another rendering of our amenity center. If you kind of look at the picture on the left, you kind of see the large building, and then there's a smaller building to the right of it, and then we have our gorgeous pool. Again, for even the overshot of the amenity center here, if you kind of look at all the facilities, so we have indoor, outdoor facilities, which is great. We have all, if you look at the top of the screen where it says 13, those are all our pickleball courts, but beautiful, like just absolutely, you look like you're in Beverly Hills, like gorgeous grounds. Everything is branded Verdana Village. It feels like you're in somewhere special. Okay. Interesting. If you look at number 12, 12 is really cool. That's a tennis court, but it's a practice court, and that's for training. If you look at number 10, which is a little pavilion, a little house there, just below the pickleball courts, that's going to be a pro shop, and there's going to be a pro on staff and you can hire and get lessons for tennis naturally. Then obviously 11 is our tennis courts. What I liked about also this community is the dog run. Number 16 on the plan here is a small dog run. Like, again, it's not the biggest. It's about 2,200 square feet. I think the actual perimeter of the fencing, but it's a great place. I think it's fantastic. At least you can bring your dog, let him run around or her run around. The thing is, you got to remember, we're in Florida, so there's anything in a freshwater lake, you got to be careful. You don't want to walk on the edges especially with a dog. I mean, there is dinosaurs in there, so just be cautious of that. But if you don't go down there, you'll be fine. We have bocce courts. We have, which is number 14. Number 15 is going to be the playground for the kids. Then when you get down, you'll see the pool, which is 9,000 square feet, beach entries. It's got sun shelves, bubblers. It's got the squirters into the water. It's got a swim up day bed. Absolutely gorgeous, and also a huge spa. A spa, we counted the actual nozzles, which is about 15 nozzles per side. So it's a 30-person hot tub, which is great. So we'll keep it going here. As we mentioned earlier, the West Village has their private amenity centers. And to be honest, we have an investment property that we're currently living in right now. And this amenity center is almost exactly the same amenities that we have in a full facility of 900 houses. And this is just one of our wings of our villages here. So it's great. You have a pool, you still have an exercise room. You have, I think there's horseshoes there and stuff like that, picnic area, also a little spa, which is great. So if you want to, instead of going to like the big facility, because there's obviously going to be a lot more action, you can kind of hang out in your little facility here. The picture to the right is a sports complex. Obviously it's cut so we can kind of see what's happening inside. If you look at the building from the front of it, when you drive in, there's a high section that kind of tapers off. So the high section is going to be the tennis courts. Then you got the pickup ball courts behind it. And then behind the pickup ball courts is the basketball court. And I got to be honest, it looks like an NBA off-season Little League campus for NBA. It's just amazing. It's like salt, like lacquered hardwood. It even has bleachers in there. It's beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. We got a yoga studio, like a fitness studio, but quite large. I think the rendering here doesn't show the actual scale of it. And also a fitness center. And there's a cafe in here. There's also a pro shop in there too. Regarding the gym, I know people had some quorums about it, say that like they looked at this picture and they're like, wow, it's only 5 treadmills for community this size. But it's not. Obviously, this is just for rendering. If there's literally 10 machines in a row at the back and 10 behind that, so there's 20 cardio machines ready to rock and roll all time. So I wouldn't be too concerned about that. And if you are, you have another gym in your village, right? Again, just the cafe, which you can go there, the ice cream, drinks, stuff like that, probably sandwiches, and it's just like a cafe basically where you're going to go in. There's a little chill out area where it's going to be covered with umbrellas, and then there's like you can chill out there. Let's keep it going. Again, these are the renderings of the tennis courts and pickleball courts, the bocce courts. And then you look at the bottom right. I mean, that's our pool. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love it. I love the beach entries. It's not, you don't have to go downstairs or down on the ladder. You kind of just roll in, like really nice. Again, swim up day beds in the middle. And then on the ends of them, those little pavilions are like pergolas there where there's also day beds in there. You can kind of chill and relax. In the sun shelves, they're going to have chairs that are actually built into the water, so you can sit in the water and kind of lounge. I mean, the whole point is the quality of life, and I feel like this is going to be such an amazing place to do that at. Yeah, let's keep it going. Top left corner is if you look at the building on the right where it says cafe, that's what we just went through right now, the amenity center. On the left is the restaurant, and the between is like what we call in Italy a cortile, like a breezeway, a threshold between the both buildings, and this is going to be like our main square. And on the left side, this has actually gone out for permits now. It's going to be a restaurant and also a beer craft lounge. So they're going to have, I believe it's 20 beers on tap, like more like, I guess, artesian type beers. Hopefully, I love beer, so it'll be definitely good. And again, if you kind of look at the top right, you'll see that it says cocktail wine, the whole thing. So we'll have drinks for everybody. That's pretty cool. And the bottom left is the cafe. That's basically the floor that's chosen now. So it looks very similar to this. Again, you kind of get a coffee, drinks, and stuff like that, ice cream, sandwiches. And then the bottom right is our pool bar. So that's overlooking our pool there. And again, seating area, bar. Pretty cool. We enjoyed this. We actually spent time with friends across the street at the place of the Corkscrew during the playoffs or the Super Bowl. And we were just chilling out here, having a good time. It was fantastic. So similar idea. This is just an idea of the interior. Yeah, so we have basketball courts, looks just like that. Again, the fitness studio up top right, the gym, and then the tennis courts. So what we're going to do now is we're going to just show you a quick drone view of the area. We flew our drone over there just to kind of give you an idea how it looks now in real life, so you kind of get an idea that we're not selling pictures. Let's have a look here. Oh, this is not it. Verdana, here it is. All right. Mary did a good job of labeling them, but I just can't read, so it's all good. Here it is. So there's our entrance gate. On the right side here is our amenities center, and this is going to be our commercial on the left side here. We're going to do a pan over the commercial. So well underway. And again, if you've seen the construction here in Southwest Florida, these guys rock. So this will be up and running in a couple months for sure. Clearly, they got to do all the buildings in the back section there, and a few more on the side here where we see those trailers now. I see there's already one built. So we're gonna keep it going. Yeah, so there's a nice view of the amenity center. We're gonna go over the pool. Look how beautiful everything is. Nice. What I've named Southwest Florida, I had to come up with some abbreviation because we have clients that all want to go to the East Coast, and it's just different. And what I've abbreviated to is lush, luxury, and private. And this is what we're talking about: lush, luxury, and private. I don't want people in my face. I don't want people knowing my business. I just want to live my life, and I want to live it to the fullest. And this is a great place to do it. We're feeling it too. We've been out here almost a year now, and it's probably the best life decisions we've made for our family, for sure. Great community, very, very nice people we've all met through the communities. Also the people that we work with on a daily basis, all the sales staff at the various communities that we're selling, amazing. We're having a very lovely time out here. If you see on the left side, there's like a green fence, temporary fence. That's where the restaurant's going to be built. They're gone for permitting, so that should start probably after the grand opening on the 15th. But have a look at this. If you look at the scale of this building, the height of this wall is probably got to be, and again, I didn't laser level it because they locked us out at some point, but it's got to be 60 feet high, I would imagine, just about. Let's say 50 to 70 feet. I'll get an approximate after I laser level it, but it's just beautiful. And this is only for us. This is not a public facility. This is a Verdana home ownership community. So I don't mind paying HOAs for this because this is bloody worth it. So we're going on the north side. If you kind of look below here, we got the bocce courts. Just we're going to overpass it. I think we kind of scroll down and take a look at it. Yeah, being Italian, this is a very important game. We can get some of the nonnas and nonnos out here to play some as you call it, lawn bowling. But that's pretty cool. So we got our little play set here on the left, and then we're going to head over to Paradise here. You kind of see that little banana shaped thing there. That's going to be a hammock.
Anyone attending is in town in the local area, that they can attend and see it all on Saturday.
Yeah. As Mary said, if you guys are in town on Saturday, July 15th, my birthday, come say hi. This is going to be a grand opening between 1 and 4. So come have a look. If you want to bring me a bottle of wine or anything, that's up to you. Your discretion. It's fine. Just kidding. So if you see these chairs there that are outside the sun shelf, those are going to be actually placed in the water. And then we got our our day beds there that we're looking at. There's our spa. Again, like I said, there's 15 nozzles on each side of that. So that's going to be a 30 person spa. Beautiful waterfall. Really pretty. We can't wait to enjoy this. And kudos to the developer here, Camerata Developments. Like, I love it. Great job, guys. This is like, I don't think I would change anything in these developments. You guys are killing it. I don't think dogs are going to be allowed there later. So, and that's pretty much it. I mean, yeah, that's basically, we do just a nice pan out of the area. It almost looks fake coming out at 4K. Here it is. Beautiful. That is the shots. Let me just do a little overhead here. That's it. So that is the real live shot of the amenities. What I want to show you guys now is basically the homes. Because obviously everybody wants to see what the houses are available here, and also pricing. The only thing I can say about pricing is They vary. So what we're going to do now is we're going to give you the base price of a house, what the build would be without the home site, without the structure, without the upgrades. So just remember that any site that you go on in Southwest Florida or in Florida in general, that these generics pricing through every builder is just like exactly what I said. It's just the building. So you got no upgrades, no structural, and no home site, which is a lot, the dirt rather. So I'll give you an idea. This is Pulte Homes. Pulte, we bought a house through Pulte. This is going to be our permanent residence here in Florida, and also we have an investment property in North Fort Myers from Lennar. Both great builders. Both offer a different product. So I'll give you an example. Pulte is more of like I would say a design build where you can make structural changes, have a ton of options to choose from. More of like an upscale builder, like quality in that. And then Lennar is basically less choices, but also a very good builder. We have a Lennar house. We love it. We're living in it currently. It's a Venice model. We have no quorums with it. It's just obviously it's just a different product. If you're looking for something, it doesn't matter. It's just price range too, because a Lennar house is probably $60,000 to $80,000 less with the same amount of square footage. Sometimes even more than that. So depending on where you want to be in price range, but they're both deliver good houses, no doubt. So Pulte's got three different series. So they got the Scenic series, which are these homes here. They're on 40-foot lots. You get two single-story choices, and then you can get into a 2-story on a 40-foot lot. And I'll give you an example with even just the contour here. At 412 is the build with a home site and let's say some you can't really do structural changes on this, doesn't have much, but upgrades, you're probably like 460 to 480. So it's not a dramatic jump because of the square footage. We'll get into the executive series. The executive series is a big selling market for Pulte for sure, because these are great houses. They sit on 50-foot lots. This is one of the best sellers here, the Mystique. And a Mystique, this is, again, I'll give you an idea. We'd have to obviously price it out by the time you're ready to purchase a home, but this is a $492 for the building. All said and done with the home site and some upgrades, it probably it could be in the high 6s into the low 7s, depending on what you do. If you put a pool, clearly you got to add about $70,000 on top of that. If you put a spa, another $30,000 on top of that. That includes a cage. So these can get into pricey at some point. But again, if you get like a pretty bare one, you'd probably be in the low 6s, let's just say that. But very good model, 3+1 bedroom, one of the best sellers. Again, very usable space. We sold one of those. We sold a few of these too. These are great. The Prestige. Again, I won't go through all the models because I love them all. Kind of go through there. So this is actually my favorite model, to be honest. I love this Yorkshire for what you get for value and layout. Is second to none. I mean, these are the model homes now that are currently on the roll there next to Pulte. So you can actually view these in person. I just want to show you the kitchen. I went the wrong way here, but let's see. This is a loft. Just remember, guys, when you have a loft here, if you're coming from the north, your loft becomes your basement now. So that's your basement. So this is the kitchen area. Like, what a great layout. Nice open concept. It's got rollaway doors, like very large rollaway doors here, like 3 into none. It goes behind the wall here. Very, very cool layout. And that's it. So we get into the Echelon series, what are based on 60-foot lots. So we bought in the Echelon also, a few clients bought some Stellars, some other of these products too. This is probably my favorite model is a single story, is a Stellar, very beautiful house, very great layout. And this is the actual model home where the sales staff is located. This is our house. We bought a Roseland, exactly that model, the FM2. It's almost complete now, 30 to 45 day completion date. And exciting news, we just sold an Upton. So it's the largest house being built in Verdana Village. It's the only one, the first one to be built. And we're happy that we brought this to the area. It's exciting because we put a lot of time, money, and energy into selling Verdana Village, and to have the largest house being built under our company at Treviso Realty, really proud about that. So yeah, so kudos to us and to our clients and Mary.
While you're on that and the build, we did have a participant ask how long it takes to typically build a home and if they ever offer the spec houses for sale.
Okay, so a question that came in, if regarding length of time for build with Pulte, if you're doing like a spec build from scratch, you're looking like 9 to 12 months. Remember, we had an issue with material and labor. It's kind of cleared up. We're going to have a little bit of an issue with labor coming forward. Obviously, there's a new bill that got passed. We won't go into that, but ultimately, yeah, between 9 and 12 months now. Before, I think it was like 8 to 10. But yeah, between there, let's just say that. And then regarding spec houses, yeah, they have some quick move-ins. And to be honest, quick move-ins are great deals at all times, especially if they don't sell in the time of prior to completion, like they're like maybe a month out, where they get really aggressive on prices. We scooped a few of these for clients, and I scratched my head sometimes how we got these deals done. So yeah, great question. Let's go into the Lennar development here. And so Lennar's got 3 Series 2. So they have the executive homes. So these are going to be based on 50-foot lots. Great houses. We own this model here, the Venice in North Fort Myers, if it populates. Here it is. It's a very cute model, very functional layout. I think it's fantastic the way they put it together. And the Trevi is basically a Venice with a 4th bedroom. The layout plays just the same. So great model. If you're looking for a house just to get into the area, I think this is one of the best bangs for the bucks for sure. And then you get their manor homes. These are sitting on 60-foot lots. You get your 3-car garage. This is a great model, the Somerville. This is an odd duck. I got to be honest. We have this in North Fort Myers. I guess it's good if you got double families or you want to put all your toys in here, but it always looks like 2 houses. Yeah, a little bit of an odd looking house, but it is what it is. And these are our estate houses. So these are sitting on 70-foot lots. So Lennar's got the widest lots in the area. If you can see here, the National, but their houses don't go over 3,900 square feet. This is the Wynwood. Because if you look at the house, they're really wide, but their depth of the property, they're very like, let's say the depth is not very long. So it probably goes maybe 30 feet deep, but very wide. So that's where you get your square footage. Lennar, Pulte, a little different. We have our house is 4,700 square feet, the one we're building, the Roseland, because we got the loft. It's a 60, well, we're on a pie-shaped lot, but a traditional lot would have been 60 feet. Our building, masonry brick to masonry brick, would have been 50 feet, but one wall goes down to 71 feet. So it's a very, very big house. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much what we have to talk about Verdana Village for today. If we can open up the questions now, if anybody has some questions regarding Verdana Village, I'll be happy to answer them for sure.
Somebody asked, what does the HOA fee include?
So somebody just asked, what's the HOA? What does it include? So HOA is going to include the amenity center. It's going to include the guardhouse. It's going to include your grass being irrigated. It's going to include the maintenance of the grounds. That's pretty much it. So basically, like, it's like a turnkey neighborhood for sure. Like we don't want to be cutting grass nor watering lawns. And the good thing is the water. Because, you know, we're watering these lawns so frequently, it's not attached to the actual meter. Like, you're not paying for the water that's being watering your grounds, just to kind of clarify that. All that water is coming from the community lake. So it's geared up to the community lakes, and that waters all the neighborhood. So we're not out of pocket for that. I hope that answered your question.
It's not working great, so I'm having to do another poll, but I'm going to do a poll that offers where people can ask questions right now.
Okay. I wonder if we can go live with the people on board. You're just waiting for a few questions. The chat's running a little slow today. What else can we talk about? I mean, the area, I think we're about maybe a year and a half out to complete phase 1, just about, maybe 2 at max. And then they're going to start phase 2. They've already started to put plans together for phase 2. So we'll see how that all goes. And then phase 2, obviously, have opportunities to buy. I think ultimately at the end, we might even buy a secondary property in there, more of an investment property, just to kind of hold it and watch the appreciation. We feel like this is going to be a good investment. And I'll tell you one thing actually about investment. Before we bought our property there, the Roseland, as we just mentioned. So if you looked at across the street at the place at the Corkscrew, which has the same developers, which is Lennar and Pulte, and also the developer. So the builders are Lennar and Pulte, and developers Camerata Development. So it's the same group of people, and it's literally right across the street. So same idea. The Heatherton, which was renamed the Roseland later on, when we were buying our property, they were selling between 1.3 and 1.5 million dollars. So I mean, we've made a substantial amount of money. I think we're into it for 1.2 and change. So it's like a $300,000 jump off the hop when we purchased. If the market came down a couple hundred grand, whatever it is, we don't really care. It's a long-term property, but we know when we bought, we saw the potential. And when we say with this house here, like our Roseland, that this should be a $2 million house in the future, as long as Florida continues to build on its momentum. That's a lot of migrants moving in from other states of America, moving into the our section here, pumping money into the community. That should definitely be a $2 million house in the future.
If you can see the Q&A, we have a few questions popping up.
Oh, okay.
So we can
Oh, there it
answer
is.
them
Yeah.
live.
Yeah.
So if you want to hit here,
Oh, there you
and
go.
then you can answer some of these live.
Nice. Okay.
That's the ones I'm reading off to you.
Okay, cool. How far is the community to 75? So the community 75, actually, we can open up a map to that. That was one of the questions here. So let's share another screen here. Mary put everything together in, she built our Google map. So we're going to have all these links for you guys. Clearly, we want you to have all this information. It's how we buy properties. We want you to have it all so at your fingertips, so you can feel more confident and comfortable when you purchase a property. So the 75, we kind of look at Verdana Village here. We have it here. So 75 driving distance. Does it show that the distance here, Mary?
The three dots.
The 3 dots. Okay.
Then you can step-by-step directions.
Okay.
And it shows how far. So it's 11 minutes.
Okay, so it's so it's 8 miles and 11 minutes away from Verdana Village. Another question was how close to the community airport. So it's not a community airport, it's a commercial airport. So we got commercial flights coming in, which is great. It's RSW, Southwest Florida, the airport there. And that, let's see what that is here.
The airport is
Down.
down.
Oh, is it there? Sorry, guys. 75. If just from our experience, you take Alico, which is the back road there, and you take Ben Griffin, you're there in like 15 minutes. So it's probably again between that 8 and 10 miles, just top of mind. Another question was, does Pulte have a decor center to choose upgrades and finishes? Yes, important question. So yes, they do have a decor center. And I got to be honest, we weren't told when we purchased about the decor center to kind of visit it prior to kind of get familiarize ourselves with the choices. So what we did was we kind of went in there like a fish out of water. It was like we had to design a 4,700 square foot house and what they allotted for, which was 3 hours. And we kept them there for 5 and 6. I got to be honest, because it's a big house, so we didn't want to make a mistake. And even though we're making fast choices, it was just we put a substantial amount of upgrades into it, so we had to go through a lot. So yeah, what we suggest to clients right now is to visit the design center prior to the actual appointment, because what happens is when you sign a contract with Pulte, you have 30 days to get back in and then go with the design center with the appointment and basically pick all the features for your house. Because what happens with that, they order the whole house that day, and you have realistically not too much. You can't really change anything. Let's just say that. And if you do, there's going to be change orders, which we want to avoid for our clients. We want to educate you prior, get you in there before. So when you get into the design center, you guys are solid. You know what you want. You're going to be a limited amount of times. You're going to feel confident. You have time to think about everything. That's the whole point. We want to make this a nice, smooth sailing type feeling here. Next question is, what happens if we are not here to sign a contract? Yeah, great question. So if you're not here to sign a contract, a few things. Number one, you're going to have to sign a power of attorney if you have a mortgage. If you're getting a mortgage on the property, you're going to sign a POA. I can't be a POA because I'm related to the transaction. So you'd have to give the authority probably to either if you know someone in town or even your lawyer that you're working with. Obviously, we're dealing with title companies here, but there's a way that they'll be able to do POA for you. Also, while you guys are away, part of our service is it's not like we're going to get you to buy a house, sign a contract, and we're going to disappear and just wait for a commission check 9 to 12 months. And again, we're just starting this all now because we're selling properties. We sold probably maybe 12 to 15 homes, variously, like around various areas. We're setting like weekly updates when we have an opportunity, when there's construction being managed or completed. We send updates to our clients, make sure that you guys know what's happening, especially if you're out of state, out of the country. You want to know what's happening, right? You don't want to be surprised that you got this house at the end. So we're going to send you updates. That's like our stamped guarantee here at Treviso Realty. And then number 2 is you're going to have various walkthroughs, obviously pre drywall inspection. If you can't make it, we'll make it for you. We'll make that appointment. We'll go through it, make sure everything's, there where it has to be done. And also the PCO, your construction occupancy. Like if you can't be here prior to closing to kind of see if there's any deficiencies in the property, we will walk the property for you. We will point out all the deficiencies. We're already doing this for clients that have already closed. And then ultimately, the good thing is that they'll have it corrected prior to closing, because if they don't do it prior to closing, then it becomes a work order after, like a warranty work order after closing. So you want to get it done prior, and we're going to be there for you guys every step of the way. There's another question here. Are you able seasonally to rent in the community? Yeah, you can. So again, any of these areas like Estero, Bonita, even Naples, they want to limit the amount of times you can lease out a property. When you get into like Fort Myers, South and North, stuff like that, in different communities you can have more opportunities to lease. But for example, like our HOA is basically 3 times per year, 30-day minimum. So you can only lease it out 3 times per year, which technically that's all you really need for seasonal. You can kind of get that seasonal rented because you can have one snowbird that's going to rent from, let's say, just to make it easy, from Halloween up to Easter. That's just an easy way to look at it. And I mean, that's just one lease, and that pays for the whole property for the full year. And ultimately, you get to enjoy it for the rest of the year, and it's like a free investment. So the next question is, do the houses come with hurricane shutters? Great question. And I'm a little bit upset with this one. When we bought last year in July, we didn't have the opportunity for hurricane windows, like impact windows. So it was because there was a supply chain issue. It was, I think, $100,000, and I'm serious, this was quoted, $100,000 option to do impact windows. Pool impact windows, I guess we're putting shutters up. That's what we equated to at the end. So prior to, I think, Hurricane Ian, because I noticed all the builders switched their gears with this. Now everyone's offering impact windows on all their properties. So all these houses currently that we're selling right now that are closing or not closing, that have been spec'd out just recently, are all impact windows. So you don't have to worry about that. And just for example, like I know the inflation last year, but for Rosen was $100,000 option, which is it's quite expensive to get some windows that you'll need to change at some point in the future. So that's pretty much it. If anyone has any other questions, let me know, because we're going to close down this webinar. And it says here, does this community run with only electricity? Good question. Very good question. So this is a gas community, guys. Very, very important. Not too many gas communities. The place at the Corkscrew does not have gas. It's full electricity. Too bad. We have gas. We're a gas community, so our pools will be heated with gas. Like our stoves are all gas. Our rough-in, barbecues, all natural gas, which is great. I love that. And obviously, it's going to alleviate some of the bills with the natural gas. And it's nice too, because obviously, if the power goes out or whatever it is, we have natural gas on site. We can still cook and do stuff like that. Also, if you're going to get a Generac or a one of those generators, rather, they'll run off the natural gas. You never have to run, like you have to put gas into it or go to the gas station prior to a storm and have endless amounts of fuel in your gallons of fuel in your garage. You can just hook it up to the natural gas. That does its own thing all the time, and away you go. That's it. That is the last question. That's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this webinar. I hope it had a lot of information you can kind of take away from this. We're going to have this obviously on YouTube, on Instagram, Facebook. We're going to have it on all the socials. So you can always tap back into this, kind of review this if you're interested in purchasing in Estero, specifically here in Verdana Village. This will be available to you. If you have any questions, if you want to come on board with the Treviso crew, have us represent you on purchasing your home in Verdana Village. As you can see, we're offering more than just showing up and signing a contract and disappearing. We're going to be a full service real estate brokerage here. So it's like we're your boots on the ground, your eyes here in Southwest Florida when you're not. So that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for signing on. I really appreciate your time. We will talk soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.